What's up, SSGN fans? This week's Week 10 matchup was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm sorry that I have to report that the footage for this game was lost. So, instead of giving you the game footage, we are going to go ahead and go through the statistics of the game. Cleveland was able to walk away with the victory 25-20 in a close battle. You can see that through the first quarter, 0-0, and at halftime, game's tied at 3. Cleveland's able to come up with 2 touchdowns in the third. The Pittsburgh's won. And in the fourth quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers try to come back and come up just short of that. Total yards, the Browns were able to dominate this. 413 total yards. Our offense looked great in this game, minus the turnovers. We did have 3 turnovers. After the last few games, we've been able to limit that. This game, we struggled keeping the ball. There was an interesting thing on this. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this on Madden, but Ben Roethlisberger was not the starter, so I went to the injuries, and he was not injured either, but Landry Jones was the starting quarterback for the Steelers, and he struggled. You can see 4 interceptions. 3 of those came in the first half. Austin Davis, 372 yards, by far his best performance, but we were passing a lot because the running game was atrocious. As you'll see here as we scroll over, Robert Turbin, 20 carries for just 55 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. That is not what we're used to seeing out of Robert Turbin, and we really need to improve that. Le'Veon Bell, he did not do much better with 15 carries for 51 yards. Both teams struggled running the ball in this game. In the receiving stats, again, Gary Barnidge leads the team with receptions, had 7 for 65. But the big player, Josh Gordon, 5 for 108 and 2 touchdowns. Since he's come in, I believe he came back in week 6 after that suspension, he has just helped flip this offense almost 180 degrees. He is a great downfield threat, as well as he can come up with the big play or the big catches when we need them on 3rd and 4th down. Heath Miller had a pretty good game. He did have a couple of drop passes. He's one of the more sure-handed players, but he dropped a few balls. And then Dwayne Bowe, the veteran for this Cleveland Browns team, 6 catches for 86 yards, averaged 14 yards per catch. On the defensive side, both teams played the defense very, very well. Total tackles, I don't even want to try to say this guy's first name, but Thomas led, with Joe Mays, led the Pittsburgh Steelers in tackles. Tayshaun Gibson led the Browns with a big thing. Let's see the sacks on this. Hayward came up with 2, and Thomas came up with 1. Dupree had 1. Robertson and Kruger and Mingo rounded it out, each of them, for the Browns. So 3 sacks to 4 on the day. And on the interception end, Dante Whitner had 2 big picks. Both of those were in the first half, as well as Cockrell getting 1 for the Steelers. Gibson gets another one. William Gay, who had a big one in the end zone where he was able to strip it out of the hands of Josh Gordon. I wish I had the gameplay footage for that one because it was one of the crazier interceptions I've seen on Madden this season. And then K'Wan Williams came up with another one. In the kicking game, Shane Graham goes 2 for 3 for Pittsburgh, and Coons kicks 1 field goal, 30-yarder. And that's the stats for the game. Again, I'm sorry that we lost the footage for this one. It really was a close game, and I thought the Browns were going to lose this game pretty much the whole time. A few big plays, though, helped turn it around, and we get our first win in the AFC North. Now down here at the bottom, I have something I want to ask you guys about. It is a contract year for Josh Gordon, and we have been able to see him a few games, and he really can be just a huge threat at wide receiver for us. Right now, he's asking for a 4-year, $28 million deal. What do you guys think? Do we re-sign Josh Gordon, or is it time that we look for somebody else in the free agent pool at the end of the year? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, and let me know what you think the contract should be if we want to go with Josh Gordon again next season. See, he's only 24 years old, so we can sign him to a pretty long contract and keep him for a while, and he's going to be a good wide receiver. So let me know, though, what you guys think, and we're going to go ahead and advance the week now because we have the bye next week. So we'll advance that, and then I'll be right back. What's up, guys? It's week 11 now, and the bye week for the Cleveland Browns. I thought we'd go through and check out some of the season stats so far and what's going on in the NFL at this point as we are approaching playoff time now. In the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns still are number 1, but followed closely behind by the Ravens, just one game back. With a 7-3 record, the Browns are the second best team in the AFC. The Ravens, though, right behind us, and then the Bengals come in at 5-4, and the Steelers at 4-6. The AFC is a very tough division as 3 of the 4 teams are over 500, and we have lost to 2 out of the 3 teams behind us, so things could get interesting if we come to a tie situation. In the AFC conference, though, we can see that the Patriots are the number 1 team overall at 7-2, followed by the Cleveland Browns at 7-3, the Jets 6-3, the Chiefs 6-3, the Ravens 6-3, and the Broncos at 5-4. In the AFC South, the division leaders are the Texans with a losing record at 4-5, the Titans at 3-6, and then the big surprise is the Colts down here at 2-7. They are just struggling, desperately needing some help, it looks like. And when we check out the AFC East, the Patriots and the Jets both looking to battle it out. This could be an interesting matchup. Which team will go into the playoffs as the division champion and which one will go in as a wild card? In the West, the Chiefs are on top of the Broncos, 1 game ahead, and the Broncos looking to try to pick up that division win so they can avoid playing that wild card game. With Peyton Manning in, you never want to have to play too many games because an injury could really put a damper on the season. The Raiders down here at 1-8. If you remember, we did play the Raiders and it was a tight game, so they have really fallen off the wagon though as the season has gone on. Now we go to the NFC. The NFC North, the Vikings are 8-1. 8-1. That is an impressive record for the Vikings. Adrian Peterson, Teddy Bridgewater doing good things there. The Packers now number 2 in the conference with a 4-5 record. The Lions 3-6. The Bears come in at 7-2. In the NFC South, the Buccaneers are the top team behind their rookie quarterback, Jameis Winston, at 6-3. The Panthers 5-4. The Saints right at 500 at 5-5, and the Falcons 4-5. Another conference that's pretty close. All the teams still have a chance of getting in with the division win and potentially grabbing a wild card spot. In the East, the Cowboys are 8-1. I think that's the biggest surprise for me. Of course, without Tony Romo being hurt and having Dez Bryant, this team is faring pretty well. The Eagles at 5-4, quite a ways behind this one. The Cowboys are starting to run away with this division. In the West, the Seattle Seahawks at 7-2, currently leading the division. Cardinals at 6-3. If you remember when we played the Cardinals, they were the number 1 team in the NFC, but they have since dropped off and lost a couple of games. And this team, what's going to happen to them? Are they going to be able to grab that wild card spot, or are they going to miss the playoffs altogether? Overall, in the NFC, the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Eagles. Those are your top teams so far throughout the season. Now let's go and check out what's going on in the league stats so far this season. Looking at the passing stats. Looking at the passing stats now for the NFL. Right now, leading in yards, Phillip Rivers with 2,800 yards passing. Drew Brees, 26. Matt Ryan at 25. Touchdown leaders, Matt Ryan with 23. Interception leaders, Derek Carr with 15, Robert Griffin with 12. Not very well there for the Redskins. Most times sacked, Cam Newton at 43. I'll look at completion percentage here. Oh yeah, this is going to be skewed. Sorry, guys. In the rushing column, top running back right now, off of yards, Adrian Peterson leads it with 1,119 yards, 9 touchdowns, and that is why the Vikings are the #1 team in the NFC, averaging 124 yards per game. That is a very good rushing attack. Number 2 running back, though, Robert Turbin, 884 yards, but you can see he does have quite a bit more carries than both Adrian Peterson and Jeremy Hill, who are behind him, and just the 3 touchdowns. Robert Turbin, though, has been a very solid running back for us, and we will keep going to him as he has helped this running game, and we're going to keep handing the ball off to him. Top receivers, Devontae Adams from Green Bay has the most yards. And he also leads in receptions. When it comes to touchdowns, though, Leonard Hankerson from the Falcons, as well as Michael Floyd from the Cardinals. Defensively now, Ray Maluga leading the league in tackles, followed by Jasper Brinkley and Brandon Spikes. Actually, all 3 of them are tied for total tackles. League leader in sacks right now, Jamie Collins with 11, Greg Hardy with 10, and Cameron Wake with 9.5. And interceptions, Joe Hayden 6, Jimmy Smith with 5, and Antonio Cromartie with 5. Joe Hayden's had a really good season so far. Kicking, Blair Walsh leads with 21 field goals, 21 of 25. Ryan Suckup, 20 of 24. Phil Dawson, 20 of 22. Mike Nugent, 19 of 19. Punting leaders. Total number of punts, Marquette King, 59 punts, and total yards. I would say this is one statistic that you do not want to be leading in. But we'll look at punts inside the 20, and Andy Lee leads the league, 14 punts inside the 20. That has been a huge help to our defenses. He's been able to place teams deep in their own side of the field, and that is always a good statistic, I think, as far as when it comes to punting. Kick returners, our top kick returners in the league right now, Justin Gilbert has the most yards, but the best average goes to Giovanni Bernard. And total touchdowns, Bernard has 1, Patrick Peterson has 1, Trey McBride, and Golden Tate. So that is the total stats right now. I hope you guys were able to see what you wanted to see. If not, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, and I will be more than happy to go back and show you the statistics there. So far in the season stories, not much going on with the seasonal story stuff, but Packers and Vikings playing this week, that will be a good matchup, and see if the Vikings really are for real. Patriots and Bills, another big matchup, is these two AFC teams play each other. And anyways, guys, I don't know if there's anything else you want to see. Week 12, we will be taking on the Baltimore Ravens again in a big matchup. That game will decide who is leading the AFC North once that is played. And we do not want to lose twice to the Ravens. I mean, overall, that's the biggest thing. We do not want to lose twice to the Ravens. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I'm really having fun playing it, and I think that we're in a good spot. For the draft, what I'm kind of looking at, I think we need a quarterback, but you guys let me know what you think. I'm really looking at scouting lots of quarterbacks and cornerbacks, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. What should I be looking for? What do you think our weaknesses are as a team? what I could do to improve this team or this series. I would like to hear from you guys on that. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, I'm sorry about the Week 10 matchup that we did not get the game with the Steelers. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. And until next time, guys, this is the Superior Sports Gaming Network. Thanks for joining us today. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more Cleveland Browns franchise